Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the um, Superstars of Wrestling series for the 21st of November, 1987. And ultimately, 1987, a very good year for this particular run of things for sure. But anyway, we've got over 200 of these available, and we continue to add when we can. Luckily, there are some sources popping up for old school Superstars of Wrestling stuff, and that is a good thing. In any event, we moved through the program here when we can, where we can. And of course, this is the 21st of November, featuring update segment showing the ending of the Billy Graham and Butch Reed segment with the announcement that Don Morocco would be replacing Graham in the Survivor Series team in a couple of days, and an interview with the world champion Hulk Hogan, Bam Bam Bigelow, Ken Patera, Paul Orndorff, and Don Morocco regarding the match at the Survivor Series, the first ever Survivor Series, featuring Gene Okerlund conducting an interview also with Andre the Giant, Survivor Series team, including comments from Ted DiBiase about the Survivor Series, in which he said he only needed money to survive. The beginning of that character is pretty amazing to look back on, with it being so iconic, featuring comments from the Honky Tonk Man and Jimmy Hart about Honky's match with Ricky Steamboat, including closing comments from Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine regarding their match the following week. We open with Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid defeating the Gladiator and Dusty Wolf 322 when the Dynamite Kid pins Wolf with a diving headbutt after being thrown from the turnbuckle by Davey Boy Smith. Obviously, that's a pretty big deal there, and the Bulldogs are not done for about another year, but you can see the slowdown with the Bulldogs at this particular juncture uh, because of Dynamite's accumulation of injuries, and it's there. Obviously, big power slam, a big hanging suplex, and then the attempted power slam using Dynamite as a weapon. Of course, the Gladiator, otherwise known as Rick Hunter in the nature of things, and again the announcement of Don Morocco as the eventual partner or the added partner at the Survivor Series team, last minute, and of course the superstar doing the tie dye, the Rock Don Morocco joining in with that. And then we move on to Rick Rude with Bobby Heenan. Heenan coming out in a traditional sports coat and the like. We move into certainly a run of things there as Rick Rude with Bobby Heenan defeats Gary Starr by submission via a backbreaker. 1.5 minutes on that. Not sure why they moved to the backbreaker. Maybe the idea is get the Rude Awakening over later. Maybe they hadn't settled on the Rude Awakening as a finish. But, shots to the back and other basic things by Rick Rude. Not exactly a heavy offensive match for him. Some suplexes and basic stuff. Rude, of course, becomes a mainstream star, but that really doesn't begin until after the beginning of 1988. So still kind of fumbling around for a couple of weeks and months here, but it's there, and it does eventually go well for Rude. Then we move on to more in the vein of, quality wrestling, as it were, and, quality for the time period anyway. Jimmy Hart, and of course, Honky Tonk Man talking about upcoming matches with Randy Savage. I guess the Honky Tonk Man or Jimmy Hart going to be suspended uh, over the ring at the Boston Garden, and Hart upset with that. Then we go to Iron Mike Sharp and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Duggan returning soon after the nature of the run in with the Iron Sheik. And of course, Mike Sharp takes a couple of hard shots, including forearms across the head of Duggan. Basic maneuvers there's nothing to really write home about there. But then we see the Survivor Series team, Heenan and Slick on the same page. Andre the Giant is the captain and basically promises victory over Hogan's team. Then we go to Dale. Let's see. What do we got? Dale Famitas or something like that. Enhancement talent against the one-man gang. One-man gang, of course, managed by Slick. Gang relatively new in the area, and the front suplex is his main offensive maneuver, and he executes that relatively simply put. Then we see Hulk Hogan and Bam Bam Bigelow and other members of Hogan's team. They promise that they, in fact, are going to go to battle with Andre's team and be super successful there. Obviously, first Survivor Series main event, a pretty big deal. Bobby Heenan back out this time with the Islanders. Of course, the Islanders, Tama and Haku, having recently turned on the fans in previous run. Bill Wood and Leo Morgan, 339. Tama pins Morgan, splashed off the top rope. Tama, a guy that I actually enjoy and wish the Islanders had lasted longer because he kind of fades from wrestling stardom once the Islanders are over in late 88 or later, 88 maybe. Later would be better. Anyway, punch kick, chops by the Islanders. Basic stuff. Islanders are in control for the majority of the match. And again, that top rope splash from the hands of Tama leads to victory. Ricky Steamboat with Randy Savage, Brutus Beefcake, Jim Duggan, Jake Roberts fights the Honky Tonk Man with Jimmy Hart, Danny Davis, King Harley Race, Ron Bass, and Hercules to a double disqualification. 342 is all they give them when outside participants begin brawling into the ring. Of course, interesting that the Honky Tonk Man back in June had defeated Ricky Steamboat for the Intercontinental title. Steamboat taking a couple of months off after his son is born, and ultimately leading that to be. So I mean, you're not going to get anything in 4 minutes that's a major match or anything. Some basic punch kick, chops, and basic stuff by the Honky Tonk Man and Steamboat. Of course, whips around, obviously having all guys involved, and every the heels react when Honky gets in an offensive maneuver, including Ricky Steamboat missing the top rope splash, and then Randy Savage basically saying he's going to get even for Elizabeth, also claiming that somehow the women's championship is coming home with him as well, so maybe teasing that Elizabeth would wrestle. I don't really understand that. A local area promo, so maybe it wasn't done anywhere else. But anyhow, a tease for the battle of the Dream Team as Beefcake and Valentine will do battle on next week's Superstars, and that is teased. Valentine says he's going to take him to wrestling school, and Beefcake says he's going to put Valentine to sleep. So there we go with that, and we'll be back with more right after this.